So the first anniversary of Black Clover Mobile is fast approaching, and we're going to be talking about everything coming. And as you can see, we have a lot of tabs open, which is incorporating a bit of leaks and mainly official information. So we know the new unit, we know of many different buffs that will be taking place in terms of being able to diversify the meta and bunch of new content actually above all the content already being added. Now, as I'm making this video, the wanted game mode is not out to play, unfortunately, but it is what it is. That is fine. I mean, it is a game mode that they're adding alongside the, I think, 3 or 4 pieces of content that I'm going to talk about in this video. And I definitely think that for me right now, this anniversary is looking to be one of the best anniversaries I've ever played for a gacha game, period. And the reason being is because of how dead they made JP. Before that, how little content we got, how little updates we got, basically putting everything to this first anniversary. And as of right now, it is seeming to be actually worth it. And it seems that they will be making a full comeback in terms of actually making the game good. Is it going to get players? We can only hope so. But for now, we are going to go in with what we know. So to start off, I think the biggest thing in my opinion that they're going to be adding is going to be the level 125 level Transcendence. So now every single unit in the game will be able to go to level 125 in Black Clover Mobile. And how they're going to actually let you do that is through being able to transcend every 5 levels, and you are going to be able to do that using any type of mage piece. So be it, let's go in game to actually show you, be it this might change a little bit, but be it any shared mage piece, any mage piece from a unique unit, or all-round piece if you want to use a universal piece if you really want to, but I'd say mainly stick to shared mage piece. So we don't know exactly how it's going to work for some PvP-oriented things, but in terms of actually any PvE passive, we could see the level 125 is going to unlock it. They briefly do mention PvP, but it is it's not told, right? It's not exactly told how exactly it's going to work. Now, for level 105, 110, 115, and 120, it's going to be different stats. So, for example, 105 here is 12,000 HP, and then 120 here is 2 speed. So, it's going to actually give this to a defender. So, defenders will now be able to get certain amounts of speed, extra, even supporters. So, it's going to greatly change how the units actually play, who goes first, and make things very different in the PvP landscape, alongside adding a new passive at level 125. Now, as of right now, for the passives at level 125, there's only one thing we really know, and that's the PvE types of passives, being Yol boosts and equipment boosts. So the Yol boost for these 8 units and the equipment boost for these 7 units will be giving 20% to Yol and equipment respectively, which is actually insanely good, and it does seem that it will actually be stackable to allow you to be able to grind and feel like grinding whenever and not just during boosted times. So those are for the PvE passives that you would unlock at level 125, but it is unknown currently what the PvP passives would be, or if there's even PvP passives coming as of right now, and how exactly you're going to be able to get it, / is it going to be in the same way, or will you need extra dupes? But for right now, it seems that it will be in a free-to-play manner where you're going to just get up your main team with shared mage pieces, and it will be probably difficult to get your main units up, but at the same time, you get your main units up and then you're good. You don't need to get anyone else up unless you really want to. So that's really going to be how it is. But level 125 should change a lot just because it's going to change some of the stats for, well, it's going to change stats of everyone, okay? And it's going to make for a very different type of meta, especially if defenders are much quicker in some cases. You could actually see that if, for example, this defender William gets 3 or 4 speed and becomes quicker than most DPSs, he will actually be way better in my opinion. So I definitely think that 125 is a huge thing. Now alongside 125, there's new typings and dot buffs. So what are they adding? They are adding 2 new typings, being dark and light. So chaos and harmony are going to be added. So red, blue, and green are going to be type advantage against chaos. Chaos is going to be type advantage against harmony, and harmony is going to be type advantage against red, blue, and green. So it is not just green, it is not just red, it is all 3, either type advantage or type disadvantage against harmony and chaos. Now, people might say, oh, that's going to make chaos undesirable, but you have to understand, for example, we'll say this right now, Noelle is going to be the first light unit. Okay, Valkyrie Noelle is the light unit, and that's going to make her very strong, okay? Harmony units are going to have an innate 20% damage reduction and doing 20% more damage, plus having 10% crit resistance and doing 10% more, or having 10% more crit rate, right? That's how the type advantage and type disadvantage works. So because of that, Noelle's just going to have an extra built-in 20% against every other unit in the game at the moment. But then Chaos comes out, and yes, they're going to be type disadvantage to red, green, and blue, which is 99% of the game, but they will be able to counter much more heavily the Harmony unit, which is how they're actually going to make it where you want to actually get the Chaos units, where it's going to make it more of a, yeah, I'm directly countering this unit, but it is also possible that just outright the Chaos unit is just better and the type advantage doesn't affect them. So I gave this example to Section, but basically why red, green, and blue, why this rock, paper, scissors mechanic works so well is obviously because of the type advantage, right? It is pretty good, but it's not just that. It's because of how every team works in the type advantage team right now. So red is good against green, not only because of the type advantage, right? The type advantage for sure helps, but because the red team directly counters green in terms of what they do. So mono red takes away barriers with Asta. And guess what mono green has? Barriers. That's the whole point. Mono green is good against mono blue because they have a bunch of invincibility. They stop the reflection from really counting. They're able to silence, which is one of the biggest oppositions to mono blue, and they're going to do enough damage to kill. And then mono blue is able to beat mono red because you're able to nerf the shit out of Asta until it's his turn. And you're just able to do a lot to stop you from dying and be able to kill, and it works very well. So there's a perfect harmony where yes is the type advantage for sure, but it's mainly the skills of the units. So if Chaos isn't directly countered by any of these skills from the actual colored units. I'm going to call these the colored units and then these the light and dark, I guess. So if these units aren't really countering a Chaos unit in the future, then it won't really matter. For example, if we get Black Divider, he'll probably be cracked. So it won't matter if red is doing 20% more damage to him, because he's just Black Divider Asta would just kill everyone and be able to counter Noelle. That's the main point. Another point is that Harmony is going to be probably the #1 units in the game, and then Chaos comes out. It's still very good, but because of how much Harmony is going to be reliant on, it's going to make the Chaos unit extremely good. So that's my little rant on it. But one big thing that is important to mention is that the Harmony unit will probably be leading the team, and also this is going to basically break the mono meta mold. Adding these two colors and making these the best units in the game will make it undesirable to actually run mono teams. So that's the whole point. And if they want to do it like that, if it does continue to work, if it does allow the meta to be good, then great. Now the a bit scary part is, where is it? Let's check the end. We expected to make a very big change to the overall gameplay, including arena PvP. Okay, that's great. But then what's scary is that they say we cannot 100% guarantee how this update will work in an actual PvP environment, or whether it will be able to create a diverse PvP meta as we expect. But it should. Okay, it should. I'm seeing it at like just what I've seen from the game in the last 6 months with the mono meta. I'm just going to guess that it actually will be pretty good with those two typings. So that's it for that. Now, when is Valkyrie coming out being the first light unit? She's going to be coming out in, where is it? They set it over here. In the Season 12-2 update during the first Anniversary Fest period. Now, this is actually going to be in 2 weeks. It's going to be May 14th. It should be around May 14th, 15th. Now, why exactly? Well, basically, 12-2 is going to be the second part of Season 2. A season is usually a month on JP, which means the second half is in 2 weeks. And since the season just started, then Season 12-2 will be in 2 weeks on either the 14th or 15th of May. So that's when Valkyrie Noelle is going to come out. We're going to talk about that more later. Now, my biggest and most favorite change, in my opinion, besides the typings, actually all three of these things are insane to just change the game drastically, but actually buffing dot effects. So they wanted to make it not just burn, right? Burn is insane, established, but they want to make the other teams much better. So the bleed and poison can now be stacked up to 3 times, and shock also got an increased passive alongside bleed and poison. So bleed can be stacked 3 times, more damage just from that, but what it does is it also puts 2-turn recovery block when you get to 3 stacks. So now all these 3 dots are going to be applying a debuff at 3 stacks, which is going to make these teams much better and allow for these dots to actually be much better. Now, people are arguing that Witch Queen is going to be insane, but when you consider the fact that it's not really going to do too much for Witch Queen, because her skill 2 she can only use once every 2 turns, which is going to have most of these, and it's only a 50% chance, first of all, and maybe the bleed one could apply 3 times, but you're never going to get the poison deep poison dot 3 times. And Witch Queen, like, she's good already max healing no matter what. So adding an extra 2 to 3, being able to stack a bit more if you're lucky, is not going to do much for Witch Queen. Now, let's go on to poison. What does it do? At 3 stacks, it reduces stamina / mobility by 50% at 3 stacks. This is insane. Reason being, Nozel. Okay, this new Nozel is able to AoE apply poison here, and then when he's at max dupe, he's able, where is it? When he's at max dupe, he's able to apply poison on all of his skills when he has 3 Mercury, which means his skill 2 AoE is also going to apply it. So you're actually going to be able to get this much quicker, especially if you use multiple poison units. It's going to be insane. Now, I think this also means the skill 1 applies 2 poisons if you consider it. And you also have the AoE, so you're going to be able to get that 3 poison application on everyone and reduce the mobility by 50%, which is insane. Then for Shock, it reduces SP by 8 at 3 stacks. And why this is insane is because, well, luck exists, and that's, guess what, 2 buffs for the mono blue team. So this is how they decided to buff the mono blue team, by giving mobility and SP reduction. Insane. So this is going to be coming in Season 13, which is going to be at the beginning of June, which is great. So yeah, I mean, Burn didn't change because it's already oppressive, but these 3 getting changed is insane, and we'll see how exactly it affects it later on. Now, next up is they're adding a new Mage's Path for the 1st anniversary. Now, I do want to say Valkyrie Noel is starting on May 14th, which is going to be about the start of the anniversary, but a lot more stuff should be coming probably June 2nd, in my opinion. Now, this Mage's Path is going to be very similar to the other one, and it does seem like we might get a Julius for free, as they're showing a big reward, and Julius is the unit here, so I could guess that they might be giving Julius for free, which would be pretty cool, and I think it would definitely bring new players back to the game on JP side. Now, besides that, they're also making it that the squad challenges is going to be organized. It's going to be made a lot easier to where you can actually choose what type of challenges you want to do for your guild between battle growth and life, and then it will actually be made a lot easier. It's going to be a lot better for a lot of players, and that's just a mini tidbit of information that they mentioned in this. Now, Wanted already came, so it's possible that these additions are added earlier, because Wanted was added a month before at 1st Anni, so keep that in mind. But these are 2 new things for sure. Now, next up, we're getting new info for Valkyrie Noel on the 8th, which should be about a week before they actually come out. And this perfectly lines up with the stream, unless I'm mistaken. So we're going to be getting Valk's kit on the 8th, which is a Wednesday, and I'm very excited for it. Yes, so basically they do JP streams every 2 weeks, and that's usually when we get the big info. That's when we got the this patch note, this what they call a PD, right? And it's, I mean, this one we got the level 125 information. So, yeah, we're going to be getting Noel info. Then, so she's going to be a light unit, okay? Light unit, her skill 2 is a barrier, and it seems to have a special barrier, just like Summer Noel, applying an exclusive, well, like exclusive to her barrier. And she also should have invincibility removal, which means I don't think there's a single point to summoning in Spirit Dive, on Spirit Dive, you know. Okay, Mono Green is getting completely effed over. Okay, now let me actually pull this up to just kind of confirm it to you guys. But this buff, I was told Noel should have it, and that is the invincibility side, and then putting the removal. So Noel will probably remove invincibility, and that's Spirit Dive Uno's big gimmick. So Spirit Dive Uno, who I thought was going to counter Noel or try to be a counter, is actually getting countered by Noel. Now, there's 3 big pieces of information that we could actually talk about in the upcoming things that were leaked. And these 3 things are not fully confirmed, but the main thing for the 23rd should be, the other 2 things are just going to be, you know, just they're going to be there, right? Now, other little things is that, very cool, by the way, they're giving this Mario skin for free on JP, which is insane. And obviously we got this thing. I just want to say this graphic looks really cool. I like it. Anyway, let's get into this. So there's 3 pieces of info. So we got 3 pieces of news coming every single week, which is insane. So the first one, this seems to be RTA. I'm not going to lie, it might be RTA matchmaking. Now, why do I say this? Let's explain. So if we go into Arena, we could see these types of little logos, icons, and this guy seems very similar to this guy. And guess what that is? Arena, okay? So, in my opinion, this should be another Arena game mode. And what have they not added? Real-time Arena matchmaking. So this could be the official confirmation for real-time Arena coming, and this would also line up perfectly with Global getting it too at the same time for the half anniversary. Now, if it's not the matchmaking, then there is also this coin. Now, this is a new coin, and usually these are for limited time modes, and we have it, I think, for Charge, for World Boss, and for the 2 raids. Now, Either this is a new mode and it's going to have this, which means another limited time mode, or this is real-time arena and this is another new mode coming in the future, which is best case scenario, if I'm being honest. So this is a double teaser or just a teaser for for another mode. But I definitely think, in my opinion, because of what we just talked about, that this is real-time arena, because of how they make these arena, like all four of these are the same style. We don't see this really anywhere else. If we go to squad just to make sure, right? We go here, it ain't the same. Right? So to me, it has to be an arena type mode. And what better than matchmaking real-time PvP? So that's it for that. This also probably means it's another game mode getting this coin. So even another game mode above everything else we're about to talk about. Now, this is the exact icon you can see here with the same little bottle. So that's basically it. This is going to be a main event coming to JP. Yep. And what exactly is this going to be? We could see here from this logo, it's the same as a Tropical Retreat in style. And this is going to be the icon like you see for Tropical Retreat. And this might be one of the coins we get in it. Now, if I actually go out, let me just try and verify this. But if I do go out, which I think I do here, we will be able to see that the icon. Oh, do I ever get out? Do I ever get out? Let me see. Let me see. Now, you can see this little icon right there, and it looks extremely similar to this, okay? Now, what I'm talking about is the Tropical Retreat icon, and to me, that looks strikingly similar to this, so it's basically confirming that it's going to be an event like this, and you got to remember, the second time around, this event had insane rewards. We got daily LR gear selection 3 times, a free SSR, LR accessory selection box. Now, is it going to be the same on JP? I don't know, but if this event ever comes to global, we could expect very similar rewards. Now, the thing is, they also talked about side stories before. And what this leads me to believe is that this event will incorporate some amount of side stories for like a party type of thing with actual cutscenes potentially. This is more of speculation, but that's the thing. Now, if this isn't part of the party event and this is just something else, this could also just be a coin for a coin shop. So we could also get an anniversary coin shop, which I very much like these anniversary type of coin shops that they do in other gachas. So this could be something separate or something with it. There's so many things that could be together or separate, and if they're separate, it's best case scenario. So I think this is a very good event that they're going to be adding. Now, next up, we got this top 10 selection. Now, a lot of people might not know this because of the timing with it. I didn't really talk about it much. But on JP for the half anniversary, people voted for the top 10 SSRs that they wanted to be featured in a SSR banner where you could basically reroll it 999 times like the Julius banner, and you could basically choose any pickup unit up to that point, I think, or most of them. Now, I think that it was not every pickup at the time. Okay, they had, I think, up till Kahono and Kiyato, but we were up to Fauna and Witch Queen at that point. Now, the thing is, on JP now, I think they're going to have every single pickup in there. The reason being, if we go to every type of mage selector, you could get any pickup up to Vanessa and Zora, the latest pickups. So this top 10, which should be coming with the first Annie, which is going to be a guaranteed, not a guaranteed SSR, but you could get an SSR because you're going to re-roll it 900 up to 999 times, and it's going to be giving an SSR basically of your choice because you're going to re-roll until you really want to get it or get multiple SSRs. I think it's possible on this banner. So we're going to be able to vote for that soon enough as it is coming. One big thing too is that there was a login also that gave a universal mage dupe, right? And I definitely think that it's going to happen again, in my opinion, because this was for the half Annie and now we're the first Annie, so I think they're going to do something big to get people back into the game. So we got an SSR Mage Selector on day 3, SSR Skill Page Selector on day 5, and an SSR Universal Dupe on day 7 with some crystals, and then obviously day 1 gave us access to the 999 times banner. So, you know, that's insane. That is insane. Now, next up, we got this like kind of like event for Noel, this like one-time event, which could be similar to where like a lot of games sometimes whenever new units come out, give you like these little mini events, and then it's going to give you a couple rewards. I think this is how it could be for Noel. As she's a fest, it would be fitting. Now, there's also this 1-year box, which I think Global is going to get in the bingo event, but I don't know how they're going to do it on JP, but it should give good rewards. And then this is from a guild content called Knights Contest. All right. Now, this might just be Squad Arena refurbished. What I mean by that is Squad Arena on JP is ending, but this is going to be replacing it potentially because this is the last season for beta. They've said so in the patch notes, and they're going to probably be adding this as contests in the future. This is going to be a new game mode, or probably a just better / improved game mode, but it is a game mode nonetheless that is going to be added. Now, besides just that, we could also talk about something that's not going to be for anniversary, but should be around anniversary time, and that is going to be this Royal Knights game mode. It is called Royal, all right? So this is going to be coming to global first, it seems, but JP might get it at some point or at the same time. It might be done at the same time, but basically it is called, it's a main event, right? And it's the same type of icon that we just saw for the tropical retreat, like this, same thing. And it's called main event Royal, all right? So this is a main event, same thing. We got the same type of icon as this one. Okay, we could see it. It all looks kind of the same. So this might be something coming at some point, but I don't know how they would do it on JP, as we're already done the Royal Knights arc. But I definitely think it would not be a bad thing to add maybe at some point during the anniversary. But just looking at this, this is one new game mode. I'm going to call this a game mode, right? We'll say we'll say two pieces of content. 3, right? 4, okay? Potentially 5. And then also on the 30th, there's maybe something new. So there's like 4 to 5 new game modes / pieces of content coming. Actually, let's recount. So we got the Royal, okay? We got the Guild Contest, so 2, okay? Then we've got the event, so 3, the party event, so 3. Then potentially 4, potentially 5 with matchmaking, and then potentially 6 with this. So we got about 4 to 6 new pieces of content, besides the squad challenges that's being remade, and besides the Mage's Path, and besides all the other rewards, and besides all the new meta changes and additions. So this is looking to be one of the best anniversaries of all time in Gacha, with how much content they are adding, all the rewards we should be getting, and the amount of stuff that is just coming out, and obviously because Valkyrie Noel is the anniversary unit. So I am very excited with all of this info. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.